night, everyone. Good night, people. Good night to the sports friends and family. And we're here once again to discuss your favorite sports. Whichever sports comes up our alley, we'll be on here to discuss, especially football. You know that we have a lot of EPL that will take place over this coming weekend, and a lot of interesting football will be played this weekend. And I also have a very important topic to touch on further later on. And with me tonight, I have Jason so far. Hopefully, I'll be joined by Chris Lynch and hopefully Ryan as well. Jason, welcome.
There, man. Up, I go and take in the night.
Blessing, blessing. So, we're going to start no further than today. We saw Fulham taking on Wolves, and Fulham, who we expected that would have probably beat the job. They have suffered quite a few defeats on the trot, and it leaves them in a spot of bother at this point in time. Yes, they played a attractive brand of football under Scott Parker, but the thing is that they have been playing attractive football and yet they still aren't getting the desired results. It's like a case with Brighton. Brighton plays a lot of attractive football, but result tends to not go in their favor. And once again today, it was a similar tale that we have seen right through the season with Fulham. They played well, but they didn't get a decisive goal. Although VAR came in at some crucial point today because Wolves had scored early on. Well, they scored late on in the first half, and it was chopped off because they said that Prudence was offside by probably about a couple centimeters, if that much. But guess what? They ended up getting the winning goal in the end, scored by none other than Adama Traore. His first goal since December 2019. So guess what? He assisted in the last match. It was his first assist in ages. And guess what? Today he was on the score sheet once again. Is this the big break, or it's a case where Raul Jimenez is in the training again, so he's probably taking some confidence from seeing his, you can say, his main protagonist with him in the training. He got a goal today, and Wolves came out victorious in that game. Jason, what's your take on it? And do you think Fulham can actually beat the job?
For me, I think one thing that's interesting with Fulham is the chance conversion rate. Their chance conversion is one of the lowest that we've ever seen in the Premier League at this stage of the season, bar that Wigan team that got relegated in 2013. So, as you alluded to before, the goals, they play beautiful football, but the goals just not coming on. I mean, if they can't find a solution to that quickly, then I don't think they will beat the job. It's going to be very difficult. Adama, as I think it's probably the return of Raul Jimenez that is fueling him back-to-back goal involvement. So hopefully he'd want to continue on that. Probably stake a late claim for him to be on the plane for Spain to the Euros. Only time will tell. But let's see. It was a good win by Wolves, but it would be a worrying result for Scott Parker.
Take into consideration that guess what? They have now played 32 matches, and you have West Brom who are below them, who have currently played 30, and Fulham is on 26 points while West Brom is on 21. So if West Brom win both games that are they have on Fulham, they'll go above Fulham. And
Mm-hmm.
also Newcastle, who they were we thought that this is a team that Fulham should have tried to target in terms of top position with. However, Newcastle are currently on 29 points and they have played 30 games in comparison to Fulham 32. So that leaves Fulham in a spot of bother at this point in time, and it's like it's very hard for them to get past this. Chris, do you think that Fulham actually beat the job?
No, I don't think so. Based on circumstances, sometimes it's just the nature of how life is. When you see stuff goes wrong like that, that means it's just destiny. It's it's a it's not normally a Traore type of goal. It was a stunner, and at the time of the game, I think that knocked everything out of Fulham. I don't know how they're going to revive or wake up from that, but I know they're going. They must felt like they are going down after that loss.
Agreed upon. So tomorrow morning at 6:30, we'll see champions elect Man City taking on Leeds, who are currently in 11th position. City are expected to win this match. I have to say that straight up because Leeds, is a team that yes, they play attractive football at times. Yes, they also played hoping, and this is what City loves. And to be honest, I can't see anything else but a City victory. First up, Lynch, what's your take?
Expect Pep know that the Champions League is the league is basically over. So I expect Pep to rest some players and allow the players to recover from the Champions League. And I expect it's going to be a good game because of that. But they have a deep squad, City, and I agree that I can't see them losing this one. They still need momentum, knowing that Darmont is still in this tie. Going down to Darmont.
So do you think that he will feel the well? You can't do this a week when they come on to City, but do you think he'll actually switch around his lineup tomorrow? Like he'll bring in certain players
Yes,
and
he did it.
rest
He
the other.
did it the week before. If you recall, like I pointed out, probably the week before that he did save for because he's looking at the Champions League basically. He's saying this got to be the year where where you can win it. It makes no sense to dominate in your league and winning by like a month or 2 months before, and you still fail in the Champions League to some teams that you would expect to get past. So I think it's weighing heavily on his mind, and he know that he has to rest players and allow his team to focus. But I can't see him making too many changes. It's just probably the De Bruyne's and probably Sterling.
Agreed upon. Jason, you're the statistician, and I'm going to give you a stat. Man City have gone unbeaten in each of their last 41 Premier League games against newly promoted sides at Etihad Stadium. They have won 36 and drawn 5. It doesn't speak well or it doesn't bode well for our Leeds tomorrow.
Yeah, Leeds will probably take a little comfort from the fact that the last time they played City, they drew 1-1. So if there is any slight hope that Marcelo Bielsa will have is that City may have one eye on that champion time midweek. But I mean, really and truly, the perfectionist that Pep is not going to allow them to drop off the ball. And no matter which player comes in, I fully agree with you both and say that this will be a City victory tomorrow.
All right, to the earlier game that we analyzed that took place earlier on today, Jermaine Watson is saying that Fulham not creating enough chances to show they want to stay up. You guys agree with that?
Uh Yeah, they don't look very good in the attacking third. They seem lost in the attacking third. But I think they played well enough to have won this game today, if you ask me. The Loftus Cheek, I think Loftus Cheek, the header early on in the game, at that goal score, it could have been a different story because it would have been a brilliant header, and that would have probably give the team a lift.
Agreed upon. Next up, we'll see Liverpool taking on Aston Villa at 9 a.m. A game that you're pretty much interested in. And let's point out one thing. Liverpool haven't scored more than one goal at Anfield all 2021. Do you expect to see that change tomorrow?
Expect to see change. Expect to see players looking to get into that because Firmino would realize that he's playing behind Jota in the more important fixtures right now in the Liverpool team, which is the Champions League. So I expect to see Firmino start, but I expect to see him showing more, more what you would call a number 9 role, playing as if he wants to score. So I expect them to beat Aston Villa. They're still looking at that fourth spot, so I can't see them trying to do nothing but get 3 points from Aston Villa, who has spanked them 7-2 the last time.
But Chris, you know that you're in some sort of company that is not comfortable when it comes down to your home farm because Liverpool have lost 6 home Premier League matches, with Huddersfield Town the last team to lose 7 in a row back in February 2018. So you're not in a good company when it comes down to your home farm in a boss.
Yeah, that's not good company, especially before it was broken. It was such a good record, and now to come and see it being so bad, it's really sad.
but you know that we're absolutely happy though being United fans because
Yeah, the
yeah,
worst
when they
thing,
used to come in, man, they used to hype about yo, welcome to the fortress and this and that. No, it's like a reminder say, yo, welcome. We can take 3 points any day. Jason, how you see it going tomorrow?
For me, I actually think this may be a draw. Reason being, for one, the Champions League factor included, um, and two, I think there's an opportunity for Aston Villa to exploit with Liverpool's high line and the way Ollie Watkins in particular plays, who had a hat trick in that game, the last game that they both played. So there is an opportunity for Dean Smith through Ollie Watkins to actually cause Liverpool some trouble tomorrow. I know they're going to miss Jack Grealish, but even with his absence, they should still have enough quality to cause Liverpool some problems, who haven't been having the best home form um, so far this season, or as of late, I should say. So overall, I think this may just be a one-all draw for me.
And on the previous live, one of our viewers, Shaki, had asked about Jack Grealish. So as a point out here that earlier on today, a report came out that he'll be on the sideline for 2 more weeks. So not looking so good for Jack Grealish and his hopes of making the English team to Euros. Hopefully, he'll return fitter and stronger. Even though some of us as fans don't think that probably is neither here nor there. Whether it's fitter or not, Gareth Southgate don't rate the man, so Southgate won't really choose the man. But let's hope that Jack Grealish returns soon. Next up, we'll see Crystal Palace taking on Chelsea. Chelsea, who got spanked last weekend, 5-2 by West Brom, taking on a Crystal Palace side that are desperate for a win, and this game could go anywhere. Jason, how is this one panning out first, though?
Well, Crystal play their best on the counter attack when they have space to run into, and I just don't think that Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea is going to afford them that luxury. So I really feel Chelsea will come out on top in this one and bounce back from that West Brom result, which for me was a freak result. I don't see that. I don't see Lightning um, coming striking at the same time, same place a week after. So overall, I think the control that Chelsea would have in midfield, the three at the back, they will restrict the space for Palace, who have been a very much indifferent team with their form this season. So I see Chelsea winning probably a comfortable 2-0 victory.
Agreed, because you know that out of the 19, none of the last 19 Premier League meetings between these two teams has ever ended in a draw. And Crystal Palace have lost their last 6 Premier League matches against Chelsea, their worst ever losing run against the Blues in league football. So everything is pointing towards a Chelsea victory. Chris, how you see it going?
can't see it ending no different. Like I said, they haven't lost to Crystal Palace, and they haven't drawn in a long time. So I think Chelsea like playing Crystal Palace, you can say, whether it's home or away. But I see a lot of goals in this fixture. Chelsea looking comfortable. I think Chelsea probably feel confident enough in the tie in the Champions League. So they will probably look to rest people, but probably still looking to finish fourth in the league. So I don't expect much changes, but Chelsea should win this one, probably 3-0 for me.
Okay. Next up, we'll see Burnley taking on Newcastle on Sunday. That one should prove to be a tricky fixture somewhat. Chris, how you see this one going?
Who's the Burnley versus
Newcastle.
Newcastle? Newcastle relegation, fighting relegation with
Yeah.
yeah, tough team to play Newcastle, especially when you're going down. Always tough. Like that game today between Wolves and Fulham. I expect the same type of tempo type of game. Newcastle trying to survive, and I'll probably take them to win after coming after a good draw with Tottenham. So I'll take Newcastle to win 1-0.
All right, and on that topic, do you think that they should have gotten rid of this long time ago? That's a you, Chris.
Uh, I am not. You are more like a coach guy. You like when coach you pressure coaches very much. You pressure coaches very much. But sometimes when I look at it, probably the coach is a big factor, but sometimes it's not in leagues that most times I see some teams survive. I don't know how they survive. But sometimes I don't know. I don't know about the Steve Bruce. I wouldn't have fired him, like I said. Sometimes I just feel these teams lack quality. Unless you think the team has quality and you can name me some other team that
One thing we can
probably
tell
a
you,
next
now, Chris,
coach.
you know somebody that love to work for your company where you want though. You know some job that safe like Victoria Mutual. Swear. But boss man, come on. Look at Newcastle team, right? And look at the type of football they play. You're telling me that you have a man like Miguel Almiron, Alan St. Maximan, Callum Wilson before he went down injured, Ryan Fraser, and even John Joe Shelby and those players. Those players are attacking players in the boss, man. You're telling me that majority of games they're going to play a 5-4-1 formation, have this strike up there isolated through the entire match? Come on, man.
Oh, so you have a problem with the formation that he played.
Not just formation, is overall football. This man sucks when it comes on to football. He just plays one way, defensive, defensive, defensive. Even though he has the players to play attacking football. To me, you'd call him a poor man, Diego Simeone. Have quality players, but don't know what to do with them. Jason, your take on the game, man. Would you have sacked Steve Bruce if you were in charge?
For me, Steve Bruce is a problematic manager. In the sense that he's more suited to teams that are have a foundation that is built on defensive solidity. You name all the attacking players earlier, you wonder what is Steve Bruce doing to kind of integrate all of them and allow them to function properly together to actually form a cohesive unit, actually beat the job. Um, for me, I think since the coaching staff behind him changed, I think Newcastle have actually been playing better football than they have been playing throughout the season. They've certainly been taking more shots on goal, which was proved in their last game against Tottenham, where they easily could have won for me. But and Newcastle are going to want to reel Burnley in because if they know that if they beat Burnley tomorrow, Burnley will be like just 4 points above them. So all of a sudden Sean Dyche should be starting to sweat. But Sean Dyche is a man where after letting a 2-goal lead slip last week, he's going to shut up shop this week. You know the formation and the tactic is coming. 10 behind ball, Dwight McNeil up. You know how that is already. So overall, I think this is going to be another draw for me. I think
You
it's
made
probably the safe result for both.
you made a good observation though, Jason, because this match against Spurs, Newcastle actually attempted 22 shots. They're highest tally in a Premier League game this term, also versus Leeds. So they kind of stepped it up a bit in their last 5 fixtures. They have drawn what, 4? But come on, man. At this point in time, Jai is not going to help you with other teams also behind you chasing the safety. So they need to do better than that. And let's see how this one pan out because, in a sense, they need to win this game. Teams are still on the hunt for them, so they need to come out and play some football and actually win this game. And with some of the players being disgruntled as well, because I saw Halmoran came out and said that based on how things are, is there like a possibility that he wants to leave? He never, I'm not quoting him directly, but based on what he said, that is what I analyzed from it. So here's one of our commenter again, Jermaine Watson, saying that Steve Bruce lacked the experience and has downgraded Newcastle from previous season. I agree with the last part, but I disagree with the first part. This man is a man that is experienced, man. You know how much team this man been through. But when it comes on to downgrading of the team, absolutely. Newcastle's biggest mistake was allowing Rafa Benitez to leave. That's one of the biggest
Yes,
mistake they ever made. And
exactly.
coming back,
I don't
it's
know
coming
how
back to
might
bite them.
actually allow that to happen. Yeah,
And a fixture that should be
agree.
pretty much very entertaining on Sunday at 8:05 a.m. We'll see West Ham, the informed West Ham United, taking on Leicester City at London Stadium. Chris, your
Should be
take.
a very interesting fixture. West Ham smelling Champions League in Champions League position. The coach know that if he wins, he can probably go on a shopping spree and can grab quality players and come back in the league and look very good. So and he has a player that I think he really wants to keep away from Manchester United in Jesse Lingard. So I think this is a very good fixture because West Ham want the Champions League position and they have in mind that they did beat this Leicester City early on in the season 3-0. So I think West Ham, I have to go with West Ham based on that because they really want to win. And I think they seen when they look at the table, they see they're at fourth. So I can't see them trying to do nothing difficult more than try and get a win and keep that fourth position safe.
All right, Jason, your take.
We all know Leicester's away form, which has been immaculate this year, but I think David Moyes will be more than happy to allow Leicester to have the ball, especially considering that James Maddison will be returning and try to dictate and see what they can do to actually force a favorable result. So in that essence, I think I agree, Chris, that West Ham actually will win this game. Reason being that Leicester, when they're forced to have the ball, they're not really the best team when they're forced to dictate. They're more counter attack and all of that. And surprisingly enough, West Ham actually have the most wins out of any team this season who has averaged less than 40% or less percent possession overall. So um, will Lingard get another goal involvement tomorrow, Sunday? I hope so, because we need the money for top up for summer. So West Ham to win for me.
But one question though, Jason. Is Mikel Antonio fit for the match? Because you know that he came off with an apparent injury in the previous game. So is he fit to start Sunday?
Um, touch and go, touch and go. I think that if he doesn't start, it will probably be a big miss from the beginning. If he plays, he might get like at least like a half an hour or a little. It depends on how the game will be going still. I know Declan Rice is definitely out, which for me
Declan Jason.
is a big miss.
Moyes came out and said that Mikel Antonio will be missing for the game, so he won't be taking part.
Oh, he's missing. Okay, okay. Well, um, so who to start up top?
I think
Yeah,
more or
yeah,
less it's going to be.
yeah.
I think it will be Lingard starting a false nine position and probably Jared Bowen going to 11.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either way that can work. Either way that can work. But even without Antonio, I still think West Ham may just edge it.
I'm going to disagree with both of you guys. I'm going to go for the draw in this one. I expect Leicester to bounce back from their last to City last weekend and actually gain a point from this match. So I'm going to say this will end in a draw.
Well,
But the thing that I want to ask you guys as well, if you were in West Ham position right now, Jason, Manchester United came in, right, and said they want Rice, and you know that you want Lingard. That's what deal plus cash.
for me, my first instinct would be to say no. Reason being, we want to get rid of Lingard, yes, and I don't think Declan Rice is as ordinary as people make him out to be. But my preference has always been Yves Bissouma from Brighton. However, if it's a case where that is dead and out of the water, then if we come and say, all right, let's give West Ham 40 million plus Lingard to get Declan Rice, why should West Ham use that?
So I said you actually take into
Yes, I
consideration
would
that
take it.
remember that Moy said that this man is worth more than 100 million, so you have to factor in that. Jason? All
Yeah,
right. They
gone.
seem to have gone. Chris, next up on Sunday, we'll see the match that is touted as the match of the weekend. Tottenham to take on Man United. Man United looking to avenge that 6-1 drumming that they got at the beginning of the season. We'll see this one
Oh
going.
Lord, oh Lord.
Yeah, it's always when Mourinho is playing against his former team, it's always a good, interesting game for fans and I guess for players who want to prove a point. But I think I'll go with a draw. I think I'll go with a draw. Tottenham is not really playing no football that you will say that they start out the season playing when they give you 6-1. But that fixture seemed to be like that. When Tottenham win, they win by good margins and probably well beat the money. But I can't see them doing that again. I'll expect you have Martial out.
Yeah.
You have Martial out.
Yeah.
I don't think that do any damage there really. I would say I don't think it do any damage there. Still have Greenwood.
Marshall hasn't done anything this season much, brother. So,
Yeah, I don't think it do any damage there. But I will go with a 1-1 draw if I don't see a win from any of these teams.
all right, Jason. Something that should worry a lot of United fans is that Manchester United have won just one of their last 8 away Premier League matches against Spurs. They have drawn 4, lost 3. Doesn't that bother you as a United fan?
Of course, definitely, especially considering the state of things as it is now with Mourinho in charge at Tottenham. It's going to take even more importance than it has ever done before. But one thing a lot of people can probably look for in that game against Spurs is United getting a penalty earlier this season. There's a penalty last season in both matches, home and away, against and Tottenham defenders sometimes them behave like them lose a screw. So there's a calamity or a mistake in them, especially in Davinci Sanchez. So overall, um, Spurs will be rested. I rested Harry Kane and Son Heung-min, which are two of the more dangerous players in the league, can cause any team trouble. But I believe, well, we definitely know that this.
All right, so Jason was probably saying that he expected to be a tough encounter, but he expected United to get a penalty. But um, one thing that I want to pick up on is something that Ole said in the post the pre-match press conference earlier on today. He said that when he was playing under Fergie, he told Fergie a white lie at times. He might not be fit, but because he want to be in the team, he said yes, he was fit. And he said this to kind of himself when it comes down to Rashford, based on how Rashford has been used this season. Rashford is knowingly having he has an ankle injury and it's sore right now. And yet still he persists on playing Rashford. Yes, he says that the player said that he's okay and he feels all right, but sometimes you as a manager can look at a player and, well, not even you as a manager. Listen to the medical staff and let the medical staff do their part and declare whether the man is fit or not. Because to me personally, I don't think they're following what the medical staff is saying. Because in the previous match, before the Europa match on Thursday, Rashford played and he played what? I believe it was 65 minutes, between 65 to 70 minutes. And then the Europa match yesterday, he was hauled off after 65 minutes once again. So obviously he's not fit. So yes, he has scored in both games. But the thing is that why run the man into the ground and then he'll probably suffer an injury and who knows? It might be career threatening, and then you hear that, oh, if I had done this, oh, if I had done that, why not take the necessary step before the thing actually happened? Why do it in hindsight? Jason, I want to ask you that because I can't see the rationale behind it why Ole continue to play the man even though the man is not fit.
Well, I can say the very simple rationale, considering that Rashford, along with Bruno, is clearly saving the man job. It's as simple as that. For me, it's clear and obvious that Rashford has had a lot of niggles. This is a persistent problem, one that would probably more than likely have to be corrected with surgery. They need to come to a decision, come to an agreement, and decide that all right, we need to be able to rest the man here. And because even in a previous run in Europa League, when we played Sociedad after leading 4-0 in the second leg, him bring on Rashford at halftime, and I didn't get the rationale behind it. Then, even if you don't save him man job, I didn't get it then. So I think the player also has a responsibility to take care of himself, regardless. But overall, I think Oli needs to be stronger in saying that, hey, you need to, I'm going to leave you to the team, get yourself sorted out, I'm protecting you in the long run. That's how it should be.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the man is just what 23 years old, so come on, man, stop running the man into the
23.
ground.
Yeah.
Stop running him into the ground. Chris, this is something that I've seen across other teams as well. Do you believe that it should come down to a player to declare whether he's fit or not, or they should leave it up to the medical staff? Because as I said earlier, I don't think that's what they're doing at United when it comes down to Marcus Rashford. Someone said it to me, I think it was last year, that it's a written into Rashford and Harry Maguire contract that once they're over 50% fit, they are going to play.
I can explain like I think it should be left up to the coach using a common sense. Shouldn't play in the Brighton game, obviously. That's not a game that Rashford was needed to play. That needed to play. So I think it's a little bit of common sense with the coach and the medical staff, obviously, because that's what they pay the medical staff to do. But I think because Rashford is such an asset, you don't want to consistently play him, knowing that he can get worse, and if it get worse, then your asset basically worth nothing again. So I couldn't understand the Brighton game that he played in.
And for me, I don't see why I played that match yesterday. Man, I need to play Europa League, man. Leave that to the youngsters. But we move on from Manchester United and jump over to another team that's in turmoil. Sheffield United taking on Arsenal on Sunday at 1 p.m. Chris, so you see this one going. Both teams desperate for a win, especially Arsenal. They need to finish the season strong.
Arsenal Arsenal should be looking to get the winning ways and should be confident heading into a game like this. This team is basically relegated already. I don't know. The last team I've seen playing after being relegated already was West Brom, was a team that I saw played good football. But I can't see Sheffield trying to trying to do anything. What are they playing for? What? Trying to impress teams? Players are trying to impress teams. I can I can't. If Arsenal failed at this stage of the season, if you fail to get past teams like Sheffield, that's not fighting for relegation. Basically, they are relegated already. So, so if they're not fighting to be to not be relegated and you can't get past them, Arsenal is going to feel like a draw. Anything less than 3 points is a loss for them.
But Chris, you know that Sheffield United are unbeaten in all four home league Premier League matches against Arsenal. They have not lost to Arsenal, so it's something that Arsenal will have to do that hasn't happened for a bit now. So let's see how they come out. Jason, you expect Sheffield to knock one in Arsenal and actually salvage some sort of pride?
I hope so. I hope so. But I mean, really and truly, as what Chris said, this is the worst possible fixture that Arteta could actually want before that crucial midweek game. in the Europa League, the second leg, because anything less than a victory would be considered a loss and pressure mounting and you know calamity even further. So overall, I think Arsenal will still get the job done. I don't know. I agree. I don't know why Sheffield is still playing, but I guess the fixture sets them have to come out. So overall, I see Arsenal winning. It will be tight, but I see Arsenal winning. Probably a 1-0.
Yeah, why not disrespect Sheffield United so man? I have to stop it, man. Man, they have to salvage some pride at least. Um, Next up we'll see West Brom coming off a 5-2 victory over Chelsea, taking on Southampton. Jason, so this one panning out.
The irresistible force versus the immovable object. That's what they call it. Ralph Hasenhutl's attackers with Southampton did well to come back against Burnley last week. Coming up against a very stern Sam Allardyce West Brom team. Again, that is a freak result what happened last week. It won't happen this time around. I think this game will be a draw. I see Sam Allardyce pretty much grinding. I don't know why I have this weird feeling that he's going to go on this some sort of maybe miraculous run and probably save his reputation of never being relegated. I don't know. I feel it, but overall, I think this game might just be a draw.
And I want to point out two things. First, all four of West Bram's Premier League wins this season have come on a Saturday. On the other days of the week this term, the record is played 18, drawn 6, lost 12. Southampton, on the other hand, have won just two of their last 16 Premier League games on Monday. They have drawn 6, lost 8, though both of those victories came this season. 2-1 versus Brighton and 1-0 against Chris' team. So it's kind of a tricky match. And as I said, West Brom kind of coming off a high. That 5-2 would surely give them some sort of positive mind frame to go into this game. And as you said, Jason, you said that you feel that it is now some Allardyce time to try and make a miraculous turnaround to actually keep his moho intact. So let's see how that one go.
Mhm.
Last but not least, we'll see Brighton taking on Everton on Monday at 2:15 p.m. Chris, you first.
Everton still has a chance. They have some games in on, could possibly make it to the top four. I'm sure they have quality players and they want to play Champions League, so they're eyeing that top four spot as well. It's the business end of the season where teams are looking at those small objectives. The title is not winnable again, so you have small goals that you're trying to reach now. And I think one going to the Champions League is one of Everton goals at the moment. Should be a tough matchup with Brighton. Brighton always come and play good football, always looking to hit you first and try and hold out. But I can see nothing but a probably a 1-1 draw between these two blue teams.
All right, Jason.
I really don't know how Brighton end up in this position, being so low in the table. They play such good football, and we seem to see it week in, week out. It's just primarily amount of positive results eluding them. They're just not converting, and they're just not getting the results that they need. Everton away from home, um, Ancelotti will set them up, will keep them in a very nice shape. They'll be glad to have back James in the team. So for me, I think Everton might edge this one, maintain themselves on their position in the race for Europe, even at best the Europa League, at the very least the Europa League. So overall, I'm probably seeing like a 2-1 victory in Everton's favor.
And that's a roundup on the EPL fixtures. But before we move on, here's another comment from Jeremy Watson saying that, nah, lie, but Richarlison is one of the worst Brazilian player of all times. Man can't score a goal to save his life. it's kind of unfair on him though, because when James was out the other day, he was the one that was trying to at least get some goals for Everton. So can't really be that harsh on him.
No,
Yes, he might have, but he
that sounds
actually
like he's a Brazilian fan. He's Brazilian.
the possibility exists.
Uh,
But
that sound like a comment from a Brazilian.
onto the big one this weekend, the El
El
Clasico
Clásico. El
between
Clásico.
Real Madrid and Barcelona. First up, it's a very interesting match because both of them are going after the title after Atletico managed to basically slip. Atletico is pulling up a Steven Gerrard right now. They were so far ahead and the gap close to what 1 point, because I believe Barca is 1 point behind them now.
Two
And
points.
it's two.
1, 65. I think 65. Yeah. You're probably right. 65, 66.
Yeah, man, it's one. It's
Yeah,
one. And Madrid three
it's one
points.
65,
then.
66.
Barca is
Probably
one
right.
point behind right now, and it's a tough match come tomorrow. I always know that when it comes down to a Clasico, all teams' farms go through the door, but of late, Barcelona seemingly has been the team to beat in it because they have beaten Real Madrid on quite a few occasions. And Real Madrid will be without Sergio Ramos, I believe Rafael Varane tomorrow. So makeshift centre back pairing again. More than likely will be Nacho and Eder Militao. And Barca playing some of their better football. They are one of the only teams that hasn't lost a game in 2021. So a lot of things to take in consideration tomorrow. First up, Jason, how's this one going?
Well, as I said, when it comes to these derby matches, rivalry matches, form goes out the window. But Barcelona have been the better team league-wise since 2021. They have masterminded, regardless of how much Atletico has slipped, they've masterminded themselves back in a position where they can literally see themselves winning the title. And a lot of persons might probably see this as Lionel Messi's final Clasico, because we all know his future is still up in the air. He still hasn't committed to Barcelona. So we still have to see what comes of that. But I think the defensive players that are missing for Real Madrid might tip the match in Barcelona's favor, because I think they're also missing Carvajal, um, because it was the midfielder who played at right back, the Spanish guy.
Yeah, man. But Jason, you know that that's where he has played for majority of the season. Lucas Vasquez.
Yeah, so it's probably in the same light as like a Sergio Roberto sort of transformation. Even though I'm in central midfield to right back versus a right midfielder to a right back. So he has played there before, but I mean it's interesting to see Dembele return to fitness. He's hardly been injured this season, which is a plus, and he has contributed a lot this year for Barcelona, which, considering that since Ronaldo left Real Madrid, Messi has not scored or assisted in any Clasico since Ronaldo left Real Madrid. So this might be a game for other players to step up for Barcelona. So overall, I think it might be. I believe it's going to be a Barcelona win. It's going to be a tight, what I say, 2-1 in Barcelona's favor.
A player from Barcelona that I've been really impressed by this season has been Pedri. He has done very well in that midfield for them, and his partnership that with Frenkie De Jong and Busquets has reaped rewards for Barcelona. And
Yeah.
Dembele, Griezmann, and Messi up top have done pretty well together. So see how that one go. Chris, your take on it?
You can't ask for a better game than this one. It has a lot of it has a lot of meaning to it. It's already a big derby, but then when you're fighting for a trophy, it even means more. And uh, Barcelona is 2 points ahead of Real Madrid. Any one of them that comes out on top of this in this game will feel it will really feel like they have a chance of going over Atletico. So this game really means a lot, and I think Ramos and Varane missing give the edge to Barcelona because of their two most experienced center halves missing, and I think that really set them back on it. I think it will make players fight more because of thinking that Barcelona coming to run over them because they don't have their captain in Sergio Ramos, and they're one of, and I will say their best, one of their better centre backs, Varane. So I'll go with Barcelona. I'll go with Barcelona 3-1.
All right, draw match this again. um, a topic that has been making the rounds, and I want to get your guys' take on it because it was requested by quite a few people. Quite a few people reached out to me and said that, boss man, we need to hear your views on it and we need to hear your panelists' views on it. So they have been asking about the disparity between the men and women game when it come on to the wages, and they're just talking about football. They're talking about sports in general. First up, Christine, do you think that the females have gathered enough traction to their side of the sport? They have brought in enough revenues to actually can demand a certain amount of pay when it comes on to, in comparison to the crowd and all the revenues that the male game actually pulls in. What's your take?
It's a delicate topic, but common sense should prevail when we reason about the topic. It's a very delicate topic in an environment that we raise, that you don't want to really see women as you are more superior than them. But it's only obvious that if you look at society, women will go to a lot of men's sport and they don't go and support their own female sport. So that tells you to even them, it's not as what you will call competitive. I think I think it lacks competitiveness, and that's what most people like in sports. That's why most of us like sports. It's the competitive nature of sports, and most women don't even go and support the reggae girls, but you will see them at the reggae boys game. So that answer the question as to, and you cannot pay someone based on what they don't bring in. You have to pay them based on what they take in.
All right, so Jason, what's your take on it now?
For me, I agree. In essence, you try to model your expenditure as a percentage of your income. So therefore, if you find yourself in a situation where the women's game is only making X amount and it is considerably less than what the men's game would make, then you would assume, therefore, that the salary or the income that these female athletes would get would also be considerably less than the ones that the males would get. So, I mean, it's a touchy topic, and we don't want to make it seem like or bring it across as if it's like a sort of sexist behavior. But I mean, if you look at all facets or all layers of the situation, then how it is really how it should be, pretty much, unless things change. But that's just the reality of the situation.
So both of you agree that they shouldn't get equal pay.
I'm not agreeing that they shouldn't get equal play. I
Come
am
on, man.
agreeing.
Chris,
I
Chris,
am. I
you're
am agreeing that.
straightforward, man. Come on,
I
Chris. Why
am
look to
agreeing. I am agreeing. There's a reason why Messi doesn't get the same pay as all of his teammates. It's the same reason why females not going to get the same pay as the men. They don't sell as much merchandise as Messi would, as the Messi teammates, and that's why his pay he can bargain for more. So it's the same thing.
All right, Chris, may I ask you a question? And let's be straightforward this time around. You own your own company.
Uh,
May
no,
may I apply for your position now, boss, because me know some job with a well safe. Why love to play so safe, boss man? Cut to the chase. Should men and women be paid the same amount in sports?
but my
Simple.
answer,
Well, Chris, a simple yes or no.
if they bring
Chris,
in this,
Chris, a simple yes or no.
But we cannot answer it like that because somebody
Chris, why
might
try
just
to Chris, why try to
somebody
beat
might
around the
just
bush?
come on and just think say me against it. I don't
No man,
against it.
no man.
I
Chris.
am for it.
Chris, we here at Sports Frenzy we're not a sexist show. We're just being fair, analytical, and unbiased. Should women be paid the same as men?
Man, I fight
Not,
hard.
I cannot say you want a yes or no. It's not a yes or no question.
Chris,
It's
it
not a
comes
yes
down to
or
a
no
yes or no. It's
question.
either you agree. Hold on, Chris.
Because it's, if me say no, if me say no, Levon, it sounds like even if women take in their income, they shouldn't get paid. So I have to explain that once they are doing that and they are bargaining based on what their merchandise they are selling and all of that, then
No
I
man,
have no
but
problem.
Chris, look, no, Chris. Remember that you explained that already, right? And
Yeah.
you see how things are actually set out right now, and you know that the female sport in general don't generate as much profit or gather enough capital to come into the sports, right?
So the question
Vis-a-vis,
was answered then.
no man, but want to say it straightforward, man. They keep on beating around the bush. Come to you, man. I did. All right, so since as Chris don't want to say it, I'll say it for him. Chris says yes, women should not be paid the same amount as men. Simple as that.
Agreed.
So I said, Jason, you agree with it?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chris. Did you do the research on the basketballers? Because I see people keep on asking about it. So did you actually did research on the five players that you expect to stand out?
Yeah, I have like I had three from the day, but I just wanted to like I say make sure. But yeah,
All right, so
did
you're
do
what I want
some.
you to do. Just give them a name
Mhm.
and give them a little description and the type of player they are.
So basically there's a point guard that play for Oklahoma State. The most people are expecting him to go top three, if not number one in the draft. Cade Cunningham. Most people is expecting him to go because he's versatile as a point guard and he's very athletic. It's something big when they're scouting you. They're looking for your athletic because they're looking for you to what you would call when you get in your peak. Oh, they're trying to judge how you would look getting into your peak because that's what they're buying. They don't know what you're going to become, and no one know that. So Kate Cunningham is a good point guard, can score and can find easy way to score. So most people think he's going in the top three, and most people also think he's probably going number one.
All right, next.
Then your guy who I think you like is from Gonzaga.
Not necessarily a guy there. The reason why I kind of followed him up. A lot of people are saying that based on how he look, that man is not
Yeah.
20 years old, but it comes down to the man mustache. But yeah, man, Tim.
Who was their guy though? I don't, because I'm talking about the Gonzaga, Jalen Chugs. I'm talking about Chugs.
No man, isn't it the same team that Tim plays for, man?
With Chugs?
Yeah, both of them
Mm,
play for Gonzaga, man. But all right, speak on the play that you're talking.
yeah, but basically me I talk Jalen Chugs.
Yeah, man, speak about him.
The very good guard again, can shoot the 3-pointer, and you know that's a big thing when you in today's NBA. So that's up there on the scouting report. Anytime you can shoot the 3-point. So Jalen Suggs, I think he's 23, and he's a good guard, can defend, and I think they're expecting him to go in the top 10 as well.
The player I was talking about, man, was Drew Tim. He plays for Gonzaga, man.
Yeah,
That was the dude that actually impressed. I was actually impressed by him somewhat throughout the entire circuit. So don't you expect big things of him?
probably go in the first round if he declares for the draft.
All right, who is third on the listing?
There's a guy from from the state that I am living in, Moses Moody. I think he was a defensive. He was a freshman player of the year. very again on the scouting report because that's so like I say, once a scouting report, most times it's once you have athletic on it, they really think that the ceiling is there for you. Your shooting will improve once they can get you to come, and your defensive game will improve. So it's for them to do their work. So yeah, Moses Moody is the next one that they're expecting to go in the first round.
And the
He's
fourth
a
player,
point guard also. And there's a 7 foot center. There's a 7 foot center from USC. What's his name? Evan Mobley. They're expect they it's he's a very unusual person, very slim built, but very athletic. It's they are saying it's rare to see a 7 footer so athletic like him, and he's a good so he's a good so because of athletic again. If you notice, normally when you're going in the first round, you have to have that word attached to your name, athletic, because of the sport basketball, obviously. So the 7 footer is a good guy. Play the center position. Obviously, reads the game well. Don't depends on his height, but also reads the basketball good. Something like what Lamela Ball would do. He has good reaction to know where the ball is coming off the rim and all of that. They just put themselves in position. So he's an ex prospect.
and the last one.
Scotty Barnes, Florida State.
All right.
Our next shooting guard. He's our next shooting guard, expecting to come in the probably top 15.
So, Chris, here's Sean Davis saying that Timmy good for college, not tall enough nor athletic enough to be an NBA power forward.
Yeah, yeah, that's why when you mention it, I really can. Normally, sometimes you have players that come into March Madness and play, but they really didn't. You have players like that. He did play good when the March Madness started, to be honest, the Levan. So I can see why you would expect him, but the regular season he wasn't all that.
You say he was an average player throughout the regular season.
Yeah, he wasn't all that. He wasn't getting no attention basically.
All right. So that's a roundup on the five players that I asked or analyst Chris Lynch for and gave gave them, and I hope that you guys listening in and actually written them down. So whenever it comes the time for draft, you know that yes, Chris was the one who actually told you that this is how it would have went. For the cricket lovers, the IPL started today and it was Mumbai Indians taking on the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Mumbai Indians, as you know, has Karan Pollard, but they stumbled upon a RCB team that has been poor over the past couple of seasons, but they came out victorious with Arshal Patel grabbing the first five of the tournament. He took 5 for 27 and AB de Villiers making 40 and brought home RCB to victory. Mumbai Indians made 159 for 9. RCB replied with 160 for 8. And on that note, we call it a night on the Sports Frenzzyy live show. It was once again a success. We had over 25 viewers at that point, and we have like over 100 comments. Thanks to all our viewers who tuned in, to all our first timers, and to all the regular viewers that have been here with me from the beginning. And also thanks to our producer Josh Carl, who has made this possible. And one more so, we have to say thank you to Jason, who stayed through to the entire night with us, and also Chris for being here once again. Pretty already when it comes on to all sports, and he was on point with majority of the things tonight. And say let's just look forward to a sports filled weekend and hope that you guys go out and bet and win some money. Until next time, peace out, take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon again.